You know, in the world of video games, there's a battle brewing that has absolutely nothing to do with dragons or aliens. Nope, it's a fight over the very soul of how games are made, and the weapon everyone's talking about is artificial intelligence. So let's dive into this civil war that's splitting the entire industry right down the middle.
And if you want to know just how deep this divide runs, all you got to do is look at the numbers. The latest report from the Game Developers Conference just dropped. And get this, a majority of developers, we're talking 52%, think generative AI is actually a negative force. This isn't some small group of people. This is a huge wave of concern coming from the very people who build the games we love.
And behind that number, there are real people facing a totally impossible choice. This quote from an anonymous developer in that same report it really says it all, doesn't it? AI is theft. I have to use it, otherwise I'm going to get fired. It's this gut-wrenching mix of feeling like it's wrong, but also feeling terrified of losing your job. They're trapped.
But here's the crazy part. Despite all this controversy, all this fear, AI isn't some futuristic idea. It's not coming. It's already here. It's deeply woven into the games we're playing right now. So let's take a look at the new playbook and see how this is all working.
Okay, so the way AI is being used in gaming really splits into two main camps. On one side, you have the stuff that we, the players, can actually see and hear, the in-game experience. But then, on the other side, you've got all this powerful tech working behind the scenes, making the games themselves run better and faster. Let's break that down.
First up, the in-game stuff. You've got companies like Ubisoft showing off these characters, these NPCs that can actually improvise their own dialogue. You can use your real voice to talk to your squad. Now, the key here is that human writers are still in charge. They create these fences that the AI has to stay inside. And then you have tech like NVIDIA's ACE, which is giving AI teammates in games like PUBG long-term memory, so they actually remember past events and learn as you play.
And then there's the other side, the invisible hand of AI working behind the curtain. There are enemies from studios like Nexon that are literally teaching themselves how to walk and fight from scratch. And you've probably heard of tech like NVIDIA's DLSS or Sony's PSSR. Well, they use AI to basically work some magic, boosting your frame rates and making games look way sharper without you needing a monster PC. It's pretty amazing.
So, up to this point, we've been talking about AI as a tool, right? A way to make games more immersive, more efficient. But what if that's just scratching the surface? What if this technology is about to become something much, much bigger?
Because this is where we pivot. We're about to leave the world of simple game development tools and step right onto the frontier of AI research. This is where video games stop being just entertainment and start becoming the ultimate training ground for a whole new kind of intelligence.
So I want you to meet Google's Sima 2. And this is the most important part. This is not a bot. A bot cheats. It reads the game's code. Sima plays just like you and me. It literally looks at the pixels on the screen, it uses a keyboard and mouse, and it has to figure everything out by itself. It's learning, not just following a script.
And the progress here is it's staggering. Just 20 months ago, the first version of Sima could only succeed at complex tasks about 31% of the time. The new version? It's jumped to 65%. For perspective, that's just a stone's throw away from the 76% that human players manage. The gap is closing, and it's closing unbelievably fast.
So how in the world is it learning so fast? It's using this incredible process called autonomous self-improvement. Basically, Sima can set its own goals, play the game to try and hit them, grade its own performance, and then, this is the really mind-blowing part, it takes everything it just learned and uses it as new data to train an even better version of itself. It's a learning loop that just keeps going.
As amazing as that is, playing in worlds that we create is really only half the story. The real quantum leap forward comes when an AI can move beyond just playing the game to building the game itself.
And that technology has a name. They're called world models. Now, these aren't just making pretty pictures. These are AIs that can simulate entire physical worlds. You give them a simple prompt, and they can generate a fully interactive 3D environment that understands things like gravity and cause and effect. A lot of researchers see this as a critical stepping stone towards a more general, human-like intelligence.
So now let's put the two pieces together. You have a learning agent like Sima that can master any world you throw it into, and then you have world models, which can create a literally infinite number of new worlds for it to practice in. This creates this incredibly powerful feedback loop. It's like a secret formula for potentially exponential growth in what AI can do.
Which brings us right back to where we started, back to the people, to the human element.
Because when you have technology this powerful barreling down the road, all those fears from the developers, well, they start to make a whole lot more sense, don't they? This isn't just about a new tool anymore. This is about the future of creation itself.
And you can literally see that anxiety growing over time. Just a couple of years ago, less than a fifth of developers were really worried. Last year, that number jumped to about a third, and today, as we've seen, it's over half. The more powerful the tech gets, the more threatened the people who build these worlds for a living seem to feel.
But of course, it's not a one-sided story. For every developer who says they'd rather quit than use this stuff, you have another one who sees it as a fantastic tool to get rid of all the boring, repetitive work. A narrative director at Ubisoft even said it's the exact opposite of removing humans from the process. It's a fierce debate with really passionate people on both sides.
So, at the end of the day, it really all boils down to this one massive question. Is AI just the next great paintbrush, an incredible new tool that's going to empower artists to create things we can't even dream of yet? Or is it an automated factory, a force that's going to devalue and maybe even replace the human creativity that it was trained on?
The honest answer is nobody really knows yet. But as this technology keeps rocketing forward, it leaves us all with a pretty profound thought to chew on. When an AI can not only master any world that we can design, but can also build an infinite number of new ones from scratch, what then is our role in creating the next one?